I don't know if it's just me, but I feel like in the last couple of years, drugstore makeup has been absolutely killing the game. And when it comes to e.l.f., I've been so excited to see their new launches. So when I saw that they came out with some extremely pigmented lip balms, I knew I wanted to test out this formula. These are called the Glow Reviver Melting Lip Balms, and there's a total of 6 shades, although I was only able to get 5 of them. Luckily, that 6th shade I think is a little bit light for my skin tone anyway. If you had been keen to test out the Summer Fridays lip balms but felt that they were a little bit pricey for what they are, these could be a good alternative. So let's go ahead and get into it. First, we have the shade Vanilla Toffee. And I do want to mention that all of these shades have a somewhat sweet scent and taste. I personally kind of like it, but if you're sensitive to that, I think it's something to keep in mind. Vanilla Toffee is a really pretty kind of beigey brown shade. And on me, it really is sort of a My Lips But Better type of shade. I think this is a shade that's going to look good on a wide variety of skin tones, and it looks good all on its own, but I think it would also look really nice with a deeper brown lip liner. Next, we have the shade Java Chip, which is a really beautiful, deep, cool toned brown shade. I love that you can kind of get an idea of what the shade might look like by looking at the tube, but this one is quite a bit deeper than the tube, and I love that. I honestly think this may be my favorite shade. I just love a really deep brown, especially deep cool tone browns. And if there's an equivalent shade to this from another brand, I just haven't seen it. And I do want to mention that this formula is incredibly comfortable. It feels like it has a little bit of thickness to it and that it will last for a decent amount of time before wearing off, but I will have to do a wear test and I will add it back as a pinned comment later. In particular, I think if you have a medium to deeper skin tone, you're really gonna like this shade. Next, we have the shade Raspberry Sorbet, and I think this may be my second favorite shade. This is another one that's even deeper than the color of the tube, which was honestly a little bit of a pleasant surprise. It's a really beautiful wearable tone of purple. And I will say that on the lips, it does look similar enough to the Java Chip shade, so you may not need to have both. That being said, they both are really pretty and they're not dupes of one another, so I don't think that you would be disappointed if you did have both. I think one of the things I was happiest as I went along with trying these on is that I honestly think that all of the shades look good on my skin tone. It's just not an experience that I'm really used to having. Like normally, when you have pigmented lip products, at least a few of the shades are too light, so it's just really nice to see a drugstore brand coming out with an inclusive range. The one shade I don't have for this video is Strawberry Sorbet. And now we have the shade Yummy Gummy. This is more of a true purple shade, but I like that again, it's not too grape. And in this shade, you also get a good amount of depth. And I really like this shade, maybe not quite as much as the previous two that I just swatched, but still really pretty, and another shade that I think looks really pretty all on its own, but it would also look pretty paired with a lip liner. I'm honestly just really enjoying trying these on at this point because the formula and pigmentation is so nice. The formula honestly feels more expensive than a $9 lip balm. And then last but certainly not least, we have the shade Wild Cherry. This is probably the most playful shade of the bunch. This would honestly have been a perfect red tone shade to include in my video yesterday. I honestly always get a little bit nervous when I put a bright red on my lips, but I think you'll see when I put it on, even this shade works on my skin tone. I'm just really pleased with the amount of pigmentation and the shine that you get with each of these shades, as well as just how comfortable they are on the lips. I am still kind of getting used to using the squeezy tube applicators, but I think they work well. It's more of a user thing than a product related thing. And here's what all of the shades I just talked about look like swatched to my arm. I think you can see pretty clearly from these swatches just how pigmented they are and how glossy and shiny. I know this was a short and sweet video, but I hope that you found it helpful. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.